Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute beanies. They're extremely easy to make and they really don't take a lot of time to crochet. So without further ado, let me tell you guys the materials I used to make these beanies. To make this beanie, I'm going to be using leftover yarn that I have. It is 100% acrylic and it's a weight 4 yarn, and with that I'm going to be using a 5mm hook. And if you're a beginner, I suggest you use a couple of stitch markers to make this project. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and a darning needle to weave in the ends. So that's pretty much all you need. So let's get started with the tutorial. So we're gonna start by making a slip knot. To do that, you can take your yarn and roll it on your 2 fingers, making an X shape like this. Then take your hook and pass it underneath here and grab the yarn over here. Turn your fingers, take them off and pull. And then you can pull again to adjust it to your hook. Now that our slip knot is done, we can start chaining. I'm going to chain 45. So your foundation chain should go from the top of your head here to the top of your lip approximately. So the number of chains is going to be a little different for everybody because we don't have all of the same head size. So for me, that number is 45 chains. So you'll have to crochet some chains until you're able to put your foundation chain from the top of your head to the top of your lip. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to chain. So to chain, you just have to yarn over your hook and pull through. So that's one chain. The loop on your hook does not count as a chain. Yarn over, pull through, that's 2 chains. Yarn over, pull through, that's 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. So go ahead and continue this until your chain goes from the top of your head to the top of your lips. Okay, so here I have all of my chains, and this pattern is going to be a 2-row repeat. But before we start crocheting, we're gonna place 2 stitch markers. If you're a beginner, you're gonna thank me later. So we're gonna place our first stitch marker in the second chain from our hook. Don't forget that the loop on your hook does not count as a chain. So this is the first chain, this is the second chain. I'm gonna put a stitch marker there, and we're gonna also put a stitch marker in the last chain here, just like this. All right, so now that this is done, we're gonna start crocheting. So we're going to yarn over and skip the first chain and insert our hook in the second one. So skip this one, insert your hook in the one after, then yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. So here we have our first half double crochet. We're gonna yarn over, go to the next chain, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Here we have our second half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Yarn over, go to the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Alright, so you're going to repeat this until you have 4 chains left. So basically at the end here, you should leave 4 chains without half double crochets. Alright, so here I made 40 half double crochets and I have 4 chains left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on these 4 last chains, we're going to make slip stitches. And so that's pretty easy. You just have to insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through again. So that's a slip stitch. Insert your hook again in the back loop like this, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. So that's 2, 3, and 4 slip stitches. So now we're done with row 1. To start row 2, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So on row 2, we're all going to start by making 4 slip stitches, and then we're all going to carry on making half double crochets, and the number of half double crochets can be different for everyone, but regardless of how many half double crochets you have here, we're all going to make 4 slip stitches here. We're now going to skip the chain 1 we just made and make 4 slip stitches in the back loop only. So here is the chain we just made. We're gonna skip it and insert our hook in the back loop of this first stitch. So skip this one, insert your hook in the back loop, make a slip stitch. So this is 1. Go on to the next back loop, and make a slip stitch. That's 2. Next back loop, 3, and next back loop, 4. When you're done making your 4 slip stitches, we're gonna make half double crochets all across for the rest of the row, and from now on we're always going to crochet in the back loops of the stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop like this of the stitch and make a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop and make a half double. Yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop, yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. So go ahead and make half double crochets all across. All right, so here I have one last half double crochet to make. So here I'm done with row 2, and we're actually done with our first 2 row repeat. All right, so now I'm gonna chain 1 and turn our work to start row 3. So now on row 3, we're gonna start by making half double crochets and finish by making 4 slip stitches. And on row 4, we're gonna start with 4 slip stitches and continue with half double crochets. And so we're gonna repeat that over and over again. So let me show you again how to start a row. So when we start a row, we always skip the chain 1. So I'm gonna yarn over, skip the chain 1, and insert my hook in the back loop of the first stitch and make my half double crochet, sorry. So again, yarn over, go to the next stitch, insert your hook in the back loop and make your half double crochet. Alright, so go ahead and make half double crochets all across until you have 4 stitches left to make your slip stitches. Alright, so here I made all of my half double crochets and I'm gonna make 4 slip stitches. So I'm gonna insert my hook in the back loop, yarn over and pull through 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitches, 3 slip stitches, and the last one here, 4. So now we're done with row 3. To start row 4, we're gonna chain 1 and turn our work. And now on row 4, we're gonna start by making 4 slip stitches and continuing with our half double crochets. So I'm gonna skip the chain 1 we just made, insert my hook in the back loop, make my first slip stitch, go to the next stitch, back loop, slip stitch, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm gonna restart making my half double crochets in the back loop. So because I'm using some leftover yarn, I'm going to be switching over to this beige yarn to this bluish yarn. So I'm going to show you how to change colors. I also want to say that I change colors randomly, so there's not a color pattern that I'm following. I'm just going with the flow, really. Alright, so to change colors, you have to start making your half double crochet but not finish it. So yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop, yarn over, pull through. And here, instead of yarning over and pulling through the 3 loops, we're gonna take the new color of yarn and pull through with the new color. So grab it like this and pull through. And we can now go on with our new color. So yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop, and make your half double crochets. So crochet the 2 row repeat over and over again until you get a big enough rectangle to go almost all around your head like this. But the rectangle shouldn't close completely on your head. As I said, you should leave about an inch gap like this. So far this is what my work looks like. Alright, so this is what my work looks like currently. I made a total of 42 rows. So here I'm done with my last row. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. What we're gonna do now is fold our work in half. So I'm just going to fold it like this. And now we're going to slip stitch the sides together. And that's why I told you guys to put some stitch markers at the beginning and the end to know where to start slip stitching and know where to end your slip stitches. Alright, so I'm gonna show you how I do this. So I'm going to insert my hook in the front loop here. So we're gonna skip the chain we just made and insert our hook in the front loop like this. And then we're gonna insert our hook where the stitch marker is, in the loop where the stitch marker is. I'm going to take off the stitch marker. And we're gonna yarn over and pull through all the loops on our hook to make a slip stitch. And we're gonna repeat that all across. So insert your hook in the front loop here, and then go and find the next loop on the other side like this and slip stitch. Front loop like this, next loop on the other side, slip stitch. I hope you guys can see clearly, but there's little loops like this all across your work, and this is where we have to insert our hook. So next front loop here, and then loop on the other side, slip stitch. Alright, so do this all across, and I'll see you guys when I reach the end. Alright, so here I have 3 stitches left to make. Alright, so here is my last stitch. Alright, so now I'm gonna take off my stitch marker. Alright, so the next step is going to be to pull some yarn. I pull about 1 meter or 1.5 meters of yarn here. Alright, so here my tail is long enough, so I'm gonna cut it here. So here I have a long tail. For the people who finished slip stitching at the bottom of the hat instead of the top, that's totally fine also. What you can do is fasten off here and then take 1.5 meters of yarn and do the same thing that I'm gonna do. It doesn't change anything. Alright, so I'm going to pass my needle through the tail of yarn. And now what we're gonna do is we're just going to pass the yarn like this all around the hat. Like this. There's no specific hole you have to insert your needle in. You just have to pass the yarn through like this. And we're gonna go over the hat 3 times. So this is going to be the first round. Alright, so I went all around here 1 time, so I'm gonna go ahead and go around 2 more times, and I'll see you guys then. Alright, so here I went over 3 times, and now it's time to pull on the tail to close the circle. So just pull on the tail really tightly. Now because I still have a little hole like this, I'm gonna go and make like an X. So I'm going to insert my needle through here and through the other side like this, and pass it through, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So I'm gonna pass my needle through here and through the other side. Like this, and pull that tight. If you still can see a little hole, you can just repeat this step. Until you don't see a hole anymore. Alright, so my hole is completely closed now. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna take this tail over here and this other tail and make a knot. I make a good 3 or 4 knots to be sure that everything is secured. Now that the knots are made, I'm going to weave in all of these loose ends, and after that we're gonna be done with our work. Alright, so when you're done weaving in all of your ends, you can flip your work and fold the brim. And here you have your little beanie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more crochet tutorials. And I hope to see you guys on another video. Bye. Thank you for watching.